Imagine this scenario. You were at a social gathering, perhaps a dinner with friends, a community meeting, or even a family event. You have something important to say. You wait for a gap in the conversation, you lean in, and you speak. But halfway through your sentence, someone talks over you. Or worse, people acknowledge what you said with a quick nod and immediately move on to the next person as if you hadn't spoken at all. You feel that familiar sting of being a secondary character in the room. You look around and see someone else who seems to have everyone's attention effortlessly. They aren't the loudest, they aren't the youngest, and they aren't even trying that hard. Most people think respect is something you earn through your resume or your age. They are wrong. Respect is a biological response to the way you carry yourself. Whether you're 25 or 65, if you're being ignored, it's because you're making subtle, low-status mistakes that tell the world you aren't the person in charge. Today, we are going to show you how to adopt a CEO presence in your daily life. We're going to identify the 3 biggest mistakes you're making and how to replace them with the nonverbal authority of a true leader. The first and most common mistake is what I call high reactivity. Watch the average person in a social setting. When someone speaks to them, they nod their head rapidly to show they're listening. When they hear a loud noise, they snap their head toward it. When they feel awkward, they touch their face, check their phone, or shift their weight from foot to foot. To a leader, this looks like a lack of internal control. A person with CEO presence is grounded. They have a low reaction threshold. If someone calls their name, they don't snap around. They turn slowly. If a glass breaks, they don't flinch. They observe. Stillness is the ultimate sign of authority because it signals to everyone else that nothing in the environment is more powerful than your own internal state. To fix this, practice being 10% more still than everyone else in the room. When you listen, keep your head still. When you sit, stay planted. Stillness creates an invisible weight around you that people naturally respect. The second mistake is the desperate need to fill the silence. Most people feel that if they're not talking, they're not being valued. They over-explain their decisions, they tell long, rambling stories to get a laugh, and they answer questions before the other person has even finished asking them. In the world of high-level authority, the person who speaks the most is usually the one with the least power. Think about a high-level executive. They don't babble. They speak in short, concise, and deliberate sentences. They aren't afraid of a 3-second silence after they finish speaking. In fact, they use that silence to force the other person to process what they said. Stop explaining yourself. If you make a decision, state it and stop talking. If someone asks you a question, pause for a second before you answer. This verbal scarcity makes every word you say 10 times more valuable. It tells people that your thoughts are calculated, not impulsive. The final mistake is the hurry. Nothing destroys a man's authority faster than looking like he's in a rush. When you move quickly, you're telling the world that you're late for something or that someone else is waiting for you. It signals that you're a servant to time, not the master of it. Whether you're walking into a restaurant or just moving across a living room, move with a sense of deliberate intent. Take longer strides, keep your shoulders back and your hands out of your pockets. Never scurry. Even if you're actually late, moving slowly and calmly projects a much higher level of status than running through a lobby. When you adopt deliberate motion, you are communicating that you are the master clock of the room. You're not adjusting to the pace of others. They're adjusting to yours. This is the hallmark of a leader, someone who is so certain of their value that they refuse to be rushed by the outside world. Authority isn't a suit you put on or a title on a business card. It is a series of disciplined choices you make every time you enter a room. It is about realizing that your presence is the most important message you will ever send. When you master stillness, embrace verbal scarcity, and move with deliberation, you stop being the person who gets talked over. You become the person everyone stops to hear. You stop being a spectator and you start being the leader. If you're ready to master the elite mechanics of life authority, subscribe to Bonzo. I'll see you in the next one.